in here. And that's really fun.
You recognize?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, these are highly individualistic birds. They don't work together.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
This is so awesome.
And people can say how it makes them feel. They can describe some of the sensations, but nobody can really explain what happens.
Kind of the droning near you is like it kind of freaks you out, but
Yeah.
like, they're so precious too.
Yeah. Okay, there's a bright tail. The female.
I see it.
Yeah. See how she was finding her tail out?
There you go. All right, I'll try it.
The costas migrate by altitude more than distance. They'll leave the valley and they'll go up to Big Bear or the San Gabriels or Idlewild, or, they just change the altitude to get out of the heat. And then when the heat's over, the black chins stay here. They do their mating when all the other hummingbirds have ended theirs. And they come here because lots of food and lots of protection with the bougainvillea and landscaping. But the rufous migrate from Oaxaca,
Oh, wow.
the
That's a long
extreme
trip.
southern tip of Mexico,
I know where Oaxaca is, yeah.
and they migrate to Alaska and the Yukon.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, they love the long twilights up there in the summer
Oh.
because they can't operate at night at all. And the summers up in Alaska and Canada have great swarms of mosquitoes and long days that they can just feast. But it's an 8,000-mile migration. And then there's one called the calliope that I see on migration. They are the smallest bird in North America. They're a little bit bigger than a bumblebee.
Oh, wow, that is little.
Yeah, and they fly from Yucatan to British Columbia. They're very shy and they're very elusive. I've been feeding hummingbirds for 8 years here, and I have gotten one decent picture.
Oh, wow. They don't rest.
Well, their whole thing is that they are very small, very fast, and very elusive. That's how they survive. And if they see that you've seen them, they take off.
Except these guys.
Yeah, well, these guys, they don't care.
I just love these. Cool, too. I love this video. I'd love to show someone.
Okay. Up at the top of that bush there is an Anna's male. Okay, he just took off. Bigger than the other birds and has a bright red head. They are fire refugees. Normally the Annas don't winter here. They leave Palm Springs and go to the coast.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
How many gallons of food? How often do you change your food?
All day, every day. This is 2.5 gallons so far today.
Wow.
They start at dawn and they don't let up.
Do you know how many calories they burn? I know it's a high number from what I've
Yeah, I'm not sure of the calorie count, but they have to exceed their body mass by 20% of intake, and that's to stay even. Their metabolisms are insanely fast. Their heartbeat, wing cycle, and respirations are all 80 per second. Every time their wings cycle, it's a complete respiration because the action of their wings inflates and compresses their lungs.
Wow. That we'd be hyperventilating.
Yeah. And their blood being driven so fast works like a gyroscope. And that's how they fly stable in the air.
Oh, it's like the wind, huh?
They don't fight the wind, they ride it. They use it.
They use it.
Yeah, when the Santa Anas pull in, they always approach from downwind and just laser through the wind. And hummingbirds are fast enough, but hummingbirds with a tailwind, you can't see them. Okay, there's the Anna. He's at this. Okay, just flew off.
Oh no, stop. You don't like that. Oh, it's up over there.
They're showing purple right now because it's mating. And, you know, just like Prince got us, girls love purple. So that's the one they're showing. It's actually not a pigment or a tint. It's microscopic air bubbles on translucent feathers that refract the light. And that sometimes it'll be like looking at a kaleidoscope on their face because it'll shift from purple to bright red to magenta to royal blue. And on overcast days, when the light's diffused through the clouds, the iridescence is insane.
Are you an ornithologist or a hummincologist?
What I did, 8 years ago, I was really, really sick, and the treatment was brutal. Yeah. All I was physically capable of doing for a few months was to sit outside, bundled up, and watch one hummingbird feed that a friend had set up for me. And when I got better, I decided I'd pay them back because they helped me through a tough time. I figured I'd help them.
Wow.
And
Get a video.
because I wanted to help, I studied up on it. Some people call me a hummingbird whisperer, but nah.
I kind of think that's true.
They boss me around. They'll get in my face if the feeders get low. They'll
Let you
fly
know.
right up to the window. I'm like, dude. Sometimes when I'm changing the feeders, they'll meet me at the door, perch on the feeder, and ride to where it hangs.
Oh my gosh.
I've had them ride the feeders into the house.
We already covered the food. Is it the sugar water?
Sugar water and kitchen scraps go into this, like banana peels
Oh yeah.
and vegetable ends and stuff, because that grows fruit flies. And 80% of their diet is insects.
Is it really? I had no idea.
Yeah, I keep like a squeeze tube of the bug mash that you get from Petco in case I find an injured one, because just giving them sugar water usually isn't enough. if I can't instantly figure out what to do with an injured hummingbird, I call the Living Desert Museum right away.
Oh,
Because
really? They respond.
they have hummingbird people that will roll out like the fire department. Time is critical with these guys.
How long do they live?
9 years.
And you've seen babies?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I just can't imagine how small the babies must be.
When the eggs are about the size of a jelly belly jelly bean.
Okay,
And
that's kind of big for that bird, right?
yeah, well, she makes an egg, lays an egg, another one is forming. And she has 2 eggs, usually laid 2 to 3 days apart. And when the babies, the nest is wrapped in spider webs, and as they grow, the nest expands. And when they leave the nest, it snaps back shut, so they can't get back in because mom's done with them.
Hi, friends.
Okay, Gary, I'm gonna pass mine to you.
Oh my God, we know that guy.
We know these people, they're good people. We brought,
Hey Jack.
we're bringing our nephews here.
Hi Janet.
Hello.
Okay, so what's his name?
This is Colin.
Colin, come on over here.
Colin and Cooper.
Come on over here, I'm gonna give you my
Okay.
son, Cooper.
You're Cooper. Okay. Cooper and Colin, come here. If you hold this like this and be very still, they will eat right from your hand. Yeah, just like that. If you hold it like that, they won't be afraid of you grasping them.
Are you going over that white chair over there? Oh, yeah. I know, it's like I'm gonna push these people out of their chairs. No.
There's one over there.
They're like right here, you can see them.
Yeah.
This is so cool. You're such a nice person to do this.
Look at this, like right here.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Now, is this pretty much how many come?
No.
Or there be more?
Yeah. In a very few minutes, they are going to descend. You can see them staging up in the olive tree.
Oh, they're coming down more of them.
Yeah.
What type of hummingbirds are these?
We have Costas. They're the ones with like the purple faces. There are black chins here, broadtails, Annas, and Rufus.
Wow.
This is a popular spot in the winter for birds too.
You said some of them are from the LA fires. Some escaped from the LA fires.
Yeah.
All the way out here?
Mm-hmm.
These like that sugar water too, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just using it to get enough energy to get home, and the hummingbirds in them have détente. Yeah. The hummingbird knows if it gets stung, it's going to die, and the bee knows if it stings, it's going to die, so they kind of cooperate to not get to that point. Okay, now they're starting to come in.
Is it only at dusk, sunset?
No, it's kind of the same at dawn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just nobody likes to get up and be with me then.
What time is that?
'Cause
What time is that?
dawn,
Like right now, are you talking like 5:30, 6 o'clock?
I saw the first hummingbird this morning at 6.
At 6, okay.
Yeah. And then by 6:10 there were 30.
They're prompt and on time.
Yeah, and for most of the daylight morning, the first few hours of daylight, like from 6
Get this,
to
Jack,
9,
get this,
Cooper, I would hold this up a little higher, maybe.
Jack, did you get this?
it's,
Oh, it's two.
yeah,
Two of them over there.
Oh, Colin.
Okay. Got it. Seven.
One above my head.
Colin, Colin, look.
and if you hold them together, they'll swarm your hand.
Like I'm in Dude right
John,
now.
you got one like that?
That's purple.
Pretty purple one.
Cooper, you got one there?
They'll go after you.
We're gonna play?
They're
Oh,
addicted
okay.
now. Look at that.
You like poop on people?
Oh yeah, yeah, we
Pooped on my hand.
yeah we call that a Palm Springs baptism.
That's-
You're one of the faithful now.
I've gotten a couple.
Yeah, sometimes if the weather's nice, I bring my breakfast out here because I found that hummingbird poop makes my Lucky Charms even more magically delicious.
I've got two over there. One on me, yeah, one on each one. Oh, yeah, bees, you're not invited. I don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to be.
Favorite letter.
You got one?
Yeah, he's got one.
They're really coming in now.
Oh my gosh, there's so many.
Wow.
Would they stay here all summer or they go somewhere else?
They go somewhere else.
Somewhere else. Huh?
I have like between 60 to 80 black chins and costas that stay here over the summer. But I really scale things down. I take feeders down and I kind of like adjust to the population. And I don't fill them fully because the desert sun can do evil things to sugar water.
Oh,
Trying to get one of my kids.
They're looking for the food.
Yeah. They have to eat enough to last them all night. Because when they leave here, they won't fly and eat again until the dawn. Because they can't see at all in the darkness. Yeah. They can see several spectrums of light beyond what we can perceive. Like they can see ultraviolet, the lavenders and the pinks.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Everything's swarmed.
Okay.
Dogs are trying to eat me.
At the fourth chimney feeder, there is a baby. And you can see that it's kind of fat and kind of clumsy.
Oh yes, right. It just took off.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah,
It was kind of unbalanced.
yeah.
Have two.
On their little shirts.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the Costas.
Nice white guys.
I think
They need
it's
this
a
food, plus they need to feed on flowers.
The sugar water substitutes for the flowers, but they do that anyway because it's instinct.
Yeah.
There's some of the agriculture crops, like the melons, that the hummingbirds really love.
Flowers to the melon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they love the date palms.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Geez, that one's a ring.
Good aim.
Whoa, this one's green.
Yeah. Well, the one that's visiting you right now, I've known her for 5 years. Yeah.
recognized him?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they are very individual. And they recognize me too.
Oh, I believe that. You're a big provider for them. You are their friend.
I feel a downdraft under here.
I know. Isn't that wild? And you would think all this fast, high-speed activity would be like upsetting or make you nervous, but it's calming.
Fly by your ear here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, pooped on me again.
Yeah.
All right,
Another
we'll walk
baptism.
off.
Hummingbird Wars.
That's all one of those splashing water.
Unbelievable. There's enough pictures now, I'm just gonna enjoy it.
Unfortunately, it's dying. Here, we're really hydrated.
I'm trying to get one to come in my mouth.
Take some of this.
Where do they go at night? Do they stay local here, right within a few trees, or do they go a block away?
They like the olive tree, they like the pyracantha hedges, they like the bougainvillea between the two hotels, they like the oak trees across the street.
They don't go too far. They keep an eye on their food.
God, watermelon.
And they go into torpor, which is like a suspended animation at night. And they like things like the bougainvillea, things that have tangles and thorns, and
Okay.
because it's a protection. They like the oak trees because there's a nesting pair of Cooper's hawks there. And the Coopers don't hunt hummingbirds, but they hunt jays and mockingbirds and the birds that do hunt the
They
hummingbirds.
won't bother the hummingbirds.
Yeah, they figure if the hummingbirds nest near them, it's like having an open Uber Eats account
Oh, okay.
because their food comes to them. They don't have to hunt.
When they rest, do their wings actually stop? They do, because they're so busy.
And their heart rate slows, their respiration slow.
Oh, it touched me.
Yeah. Sometimes they'll perch on your finger, and that's a thrill.
Where are you even friends?
Steve, how long you been doing this?
8 years.
8 years. Yeah. You started out with just a couple of hummingbirds coming?
Started out with one.
One.
I was like very sick, doing harsh treatment, and a friend put up a hummingbird feeder, and about all I was capable of doing was to bundle up, sit outside, and watch the hummingbirds. And then when I got better, I figured, okay, time for some payback.
How many would you guess there are? But,
Right now, I would say there's probably 120.
oh, okay.
Well, at these feeders alone, that's 52. And they are beyond full.
They're dancing over here, man.
Then there's other feeders here also.
There's one. Cooper's got one.
Yeah.
Colin's got two.
Yeah.